Gather all the legion, hyper peace for the tribes. Gather all the legion to the great way gain stride. Nature shows. The Republic was more probably having been revealed before criminally foreign influence sciences that were forced, tricked, or persuaded. Regardless, they were entertained. And that entertained can't afford to have discerned how English was revealed to be taught and other ancient languages. For example, because we have been systems A through Z, tactical ulterior from the identity that employed black people's whites and eyes as nature's identity, where nature is not criminal insidiousness. See, but criminal insidiousness nature left this out from the conversation formally. Informally too, and the difference of that is used by the breaching method, where how the breaching method assigned black people's whites of eyes to communicate other for itself, and to keep that used to screen itself, which can be discerned. Because if we pay attention, a breaching method is something that our founders communicated for us to understand about. But rather than understanding that breaching method, truths like about the truths of the syntax of our founders, if you pay attention, they did not have free speech because the laws were about what people could say or not. And if you didn't tell on people for saying certain things or saying, bringing up things, then they would hurt you and everyone around you. This made everyone hurt each other and or help each other for itself. And that was sustained. And then America's founders were born. Already the scale and infrastructure, the nature of suburban homes, that was forced more so influenced by the breaching method before anyone was born, including our founders, including our founders' parents. And our founders see the truths between, you could say, technically you could say our first presidents were our founders. See, but truths are being used for lies and motivation screening too, because our founders communicated for us to explain and understand how they were behind James Madison and his plan, and they needed us to understand it that way. But rather, others ourselves are blamed where we were demonstrated to, we were communicated to blame it on the breaching method /S. That's why and how. See, they have these concepts like with the arts, with Uncle Tom. Harriet Beecher Stowe and Mark Twain House are right next to each other in Hartford, Connecticut, not far from the state capitol. Increasingly involved with names and roles, with news planting evidences of all natures of crime scenes. Forgiveness is all kinds of different ways at things at once. In other words, on a mass scale, they're faking and changing what's into databases. I'm not a lawyer. These are predicate acts with facts, methods, roles before kids and adults take their oaths. They have predicate acts with facts. They're the same people speaking about crimes, including no matter if it's a formal law name or not. There's a certain type of victim /hyper victim per a method. That discernment of it takes how there is collusions. This is what it's about when you have replaced, where and how nature communicates. We have the same color eyes, different in color eyes, and there are other species bodies that have different eyes from us, but they are still eyes. They are distinctly, non-distinctly, and simultaneously apart with this volume science, where there is a hyper-simultaneous that is not us. It is not the other species bodies, but it is anyway, temporary and lasting. A hyper-addition. Every name is a hyper-additional. This is what science shows is most probable and demonstrable per nature itself. And there are proofs that the ancients appreciated this, and English was revealed to teach this. So, because nature's revealed to teach this, the ancients valued exceptions and exception nature and differences, led by this because it is why we have the same color eyes and different color eyes at the same time. It is why we are species, individual bodies of individual bodies with grouped difference /s. So there are increasingly other reasons that are valuable for the discernment of that distinct identity of hyper-simultaneous being demonstrated to us by nature itself. Also, when and how this is left out, while simultaneously the breaching method itself as a scientific value was and is left out. Because this is also uses remotely of people who are going to say we, they're going to use names A through Z individually grouped together where the breaching method knew they would, or they would be discerning for the sensing for itself. That's what those crazy laws in America before our founders were born were about. Before any modern country that's how it stayed entrenched. Therefore, that's going to affect it stayed a breaching method that was sickly distinctly north and south entrenched that way, but also sickly non-distinctly, and also nature's demonstrations of that. It was used by the breaching method. It is used by the breaching method to measure and maintain that left out, but people are going to speak for practical reason. These are manual contraries. People are going to speak for integrity. People are going to speak for the law anyway. Nature shows us that this is about a predicate acts with facts delivery system method and or the difference of that, and how it's also a criminal insidiousness nature delivery system method. Also keeping self-valued sequence shifts and more. So there's a hyper-programming method. I thank you, people.